talk like that. All opinion, no fact.
All right, welcome back to another episode of Be Skeptical, where all opinions, no facts. We're two generations, infinite opinions, prepared to disagree. Millennial dad, Gen Z son, we're diving into dumpster fire conversations, discussions. We're looking at different generational perspectives. If you're looking for the objective truth, you're in the wrong place. We have no answers, all opinion, no facts.
No facts.
Okay, so the common theme of Be Skeptical is don't believe everything you hear. Don't believe everything you see on social media. Do your research. Throw it against your morals, your values, the experiences that you've had in life, and see where it sticks. All right, so here we are. We're on episode 5.
5. I mean, it's kind of crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy. Doing pretty good. I'm having a good time. I enjoy having these conversations with you.
I do too.
I built out some stuff. I know you may or may have some questions this time.
Yeah, I got a few questions.
All right. Well, I'm gonna start us off.
All right.
Maybe it'll fall in line, but I'm gonna start us off. So, kind of the theme that I kind of planned out was manhood, being accountable, and real responsibility. So that's kind of the topics. And we're going to start off with manhood starts when it's not about you. All right.
Absolutely.
So you'd mentioned you wanted to do like a weekly verse.
Yeah, I wanted to start off with maybe a Bible verse or two.
Yeah. So I've got one, and it goes right along with the theme. Everyone to whom much is given, of him much will be required. And to whom they entrust much, of him they will ask more. And that's Luke 12:48. So it kind of falls really well into the topic that we're starting off with. So you don't become a man when you grow up.
Right.
And it's not something that you really realize, but you become a man when you really start have people counting on you. So that's when like you kind of fall into that responsibility, and you can really see that it's not just about you. You're going to have to start taking care of people. And it's something that takes experience, because you're not going to, day one, you're not going to have people that it's going to be responsible for.
Yeah.
Yes, you're going to be a part of a household. You're going to be responsible for things around the house, but that level of responsibility hopefully isn't going to come until later in life.
Hopefully, yeah.
Mid-20s, 30s, whatever.
Wherever.
But I was thinking about it. And as a kid, freedom means you don't really have any rules minus what your father puts before you. And you kind of have the freedom to do whatever you want.
Right.
And that's includes, your decisions, sports. It includes your schoolwork. It kind of all falls on you, but whether you do it or not, the consequences are kind of only on yourself.
Right.
The growth and all that stuff, it's all on yourself.
Nothing really permanent.
Yeah, well.
I mean, for the most part.
Yeah, you're right. And I ran into a quote. It was pretty good. It says, being a male is a matter of birth. So being a male, you start at birth, right? Being a man is a matter of choice.
Absolutely.
And that's Edwin Cole, founder of Christians Men Network. So I thought that was really, really good. But kind of one of the first questions I wanted to ask you was, do you think responsibility is like a burden? Or do you think it's like it falls into a purpose? This is kind of like cleaning my room versus feeding my family.
Right.
Yeah.
Responsibility is what makes us who we are as people, I feel. We have a responsibility, and that's part of it's part of us. It's part of our lives. I feel like your responsibilities should reflect, or what you should reflect upon what your responsibilities are. You should be, if you have like very strong responsibilities, you should be very mature. You should be very serious. Not necessarily you can't have fun, but you shouldn't act as if you don't have something that genuinely needs you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You need to reflect upon the responsibilities you have, I feel. And then like, and it can be a purpose as well.
Yeah.
Some people have a responsibility because they were, I mean, maybe they were given it by God.
Yeah.
You know, maybe they were given that purpose as God that that they were born with, or you know, maybe it's kids. You know, that's a purpose. I mean, once you're a dad for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
For
Whether
the
you
most
want
part.
it or not.
Exactly.
Yep.
And that's definitely, like I said, it goes into that you should reflect upon, you know, those responsibilities, and as you are as a person should reflect that. You know what I mean?
So purpose, let's talk about that a little bit. Do you think it's important? Do you think purpose is important?
Yeah.
Like, kind of go into it on your perspective a little bit. What's your consideration when it comes to purpose?
Purpose is, to me, it's what rolls you out of bed in the morning. I mean, purpose can be anything. You know, you can have something that you set your mind on. It could be a goal.
Yeah.
It could be something you were given. It could be something you were born with. It could be anything. It legitimately can be anything. It'd be like, my purpose is to make sandwiches. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It
If you're a sandwich maker, yeah.
Right. It can literally be anything. And I feel like a purpose, it goes deeper than just something we set our minds on too. You know, we can set our minds on things just like we see that we have a skill and we're like, oh, that's our purpose. No, we're all born with a specific purpose.
Yeah.
You know, God gives us all a purpose whenever he's making us. And he's like, he's supposed to be a pastor. He's supposed to lead worship. He's supposed to be a minister of some sort. You know what I mean? We're all given that
Yeah.
at some point. You know what I mean? And it's not really a thing that we choose to have either. Sometimes we sometimes are just given purposes and we don't know.
Yeah, sometimes a purpose falls into your lap and it's not something you want to do and it's kind of more of a burden, but you know you got to do it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We all got a role we got to play.
Yeah, I mean, I feel purpose, it like gives me a sense of direction. Like you said, it gives me a reason to get up out of bed. A lot of people that don't have purpose, I think that's when depression falls on people.
Absolutely.
That's when they fall into maybe addiction or they go down the wrong path. So it's kind of like your identity, I guess. Your purpose can be tied to your identity. A lot of people feel that. Like you said, it could be leveraging a skill. It can be a way that you contribute to the greater good or bad sometimes. And your purpose can be influenced. I think it could be influenced
Absolutely.
by people that are going to influence you in a positive way or maybe a negative way. And it will also shape kind of your behaviors. Like, let's say, like you said, your purpose is to make sandwiches.
Right.
Like, if you don't get up and get to bed or go to bed early and get up early and you go to your store and you don't prep for the day, you're going to be behind.
Right.
And you're already going to feel the stress of not fulfilling your purpose for that day, which is making sandwiches. So some of the benefits of having a purpose, like I said, minus the depression and anxiety and stress, like I feel like you're in better health. You have a drive. I think people that have a purpose, they are physically going to be, I guess, more healthier. I think you're going to be less likely to be sick, or you're going to push through it harder. It's going to give you like that sense of joy, and you're gonna be able to press through things with less stress.
For sure.
Yeah. So when do you think, and maybe you haven't experienced yet, but have you ever experienced when someone else was counting on you in a moment? And can you just kind of dive into your scenario?
I mean, it doesn't pop into my head a moment where it was like vital,
Yeah.
but like cooking dinner.
Yeah,
I mean,
that counts.
always cooking dinner, sports. I have a role to play in my sports. As a Christian, I mean that too. I mean, God's counting on me to spread the word out.
Yeah.
Or at least, consistently follow him.
Yeah.
He relies on me to do that. You guys rely on me to get good grades, stuff like that. So there's definitely moments where like people are counting on me to do something.
Yeah.
It's never been dire, thankfully, but for sure, I've definitely had moments like that.
Yeah, I mean, little decisions now and little ways that you fulfill your purpose could fall into a higher purpose. You never know.
Absolutely.
You may not have dealt with anything that's like you said, dire, but you're still getting towards that goal, towards that purpose, even with those little things.
For sure.
And it's going to build better behaviors as long as you're doing what you're supposed to do.
Absolutely.
I can tell you one of the scariest moments of my life. It's right after you were born. We were in the hospital, right? We were in there for a day or two, and then the nurses are like, "It's time to go home," and they're like kicking us out. Like they're wheeling your mom downstairs. They're like, "You go put the baby seat in the car, pull it around," and then literally, it's like they gave us a kid that's now we're responsible for, and we were kids ourselves. It was one of the scariest moments of my life. And I think I drove home and I stayed like 10 below the speed limit the whole time. Like every little bump, I'm like, "Oh, is that all right? Is he all right? What's going on?" It was terrifying bringing you home that first time and bringing you into our apartment. And then we're like, now we're responsible for a human being. It was an eye opener. I mean, it was great, but whew, you're talking about scary. It was scary. So kind of moving on a little bit, do you think responsibility is the same as being dependable?
I feel like you have to be responsible to be dependable.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Dependable is it's not a thing everybody has. It's a trait that not everybody has, and I feel like you have to earn that trait. You have to be responsible. You have to work hard. You have to be of a certain level of trust, of knowing that you're going to do the right thing, or you're gonna know what to do, or stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't say necessarily. I'd say you need to have one to have the other. You know what I mean? Kind of like a yin and yang situation, except not really the opposites. More like a
They compound on each other.
Absolutely. Yeah. So kind of, yeah. But
Yeah, I think dependable means your word means something. Like you're dependable. Like if someone asks you to do something and you say, "Yes, I will help you." That dreaded, "Hey, I'm moving next Saturday. Will you help me?" And you're the only person that has a truck and you're just like, "Ugh, yes, I will be there."
even when you don't got a truck, dude, they still
Yeah.
ask, man. They're like,
It's like the worst feeling in the world, and everyone's been there. But if you're really truly dependable and you're a good friend, you will be there and you'll show up at 6 a.m, ready to move boxes.
oh yeah.
But yeah, I think accountable for your actions it more falls under the responsibility thing. It's more kind of individual. Responsibility kind of it's more of
It's
a
more
individual.
like dependable is the idea of people can rely on you for things, but
Yeah.
responsibility is more of a thing you can it's more of you can rely on yourself to do things.
It's your actions and the consequences of your actions or the benefits of your actions.
Right. Absolutely.
Yeah, I think that's kind of where responsibility falls into it.
For sure. For sure.
So if you want to transition to the next one, or if you want to bring up one of your questions.
Oh, I think I'll bring up one of my questions.
All right, let's do it.
I got a few.
Okay.
So one thing I was wondering a lot is like moral dilemmas. Whenever both sides are bad, what's the move there? What are you supposed to do?
Give me an example.
It's a little controversial, but I was seeing a lot of people talk about abortion,
Yeah.
and they were talking about like rape abortion and then aborting the baby that was raped.
Yeah.
Aborting the baby of the woman who was raped.
Yeah.
In my opinion, I feel like both sides are just so terrible. I don't like to really talk about it. You know what I mean? So like, regardless in that situation, regardless of whatever personal opinion, like if you feel like both sides are bad, what do you think you're supposed to do?
Well, I mean, on abortion, that's a tough one.
Right.
Even with rape, like I know the number of rapes out there are just very small when you're talking about the abortion overall.
Right.
That has taken place.
Right.
It's a terrible situation.
It's horrible.
It's a terrible situation. I couldn't imagine a woman going through that. Like I couldn't imagine. Or I mean, even guys, they don't get pregnant, but it still happens to them.
Absolutely.
Like it's got to be the most a heartbreaking thing to even go through or even deal with the rest of your life. I couldn't imagine. And God forbid anybody have to go through that. On the abortion side, I'm more lean on the side, that's an innocent human life. Yes, it was brought into a situation through tragic events, but it has no ties to what happened.
Right.
And it breaks my heart thinking that people can do this. And most of the time I feel like, the abortion is lack of responsibility. They don't want to take responsibility for their actions.
Absolutely.
If they want to be free and have many partners and all this stuff and like, oops, I'm pregnant.
Right.
I don't think that's a reason to abort a baby because that baby does not deserve that. And there's so many families out there that are trying to have kids. And they're like, oh, well, my body will never recover or whatever, And I'll be totally honest. I'm totally against it.
Right.
Yeah. I'm totally against it either way.
I understand that.
You never know. That could be the next Albert Einstein.
Right.
Or the next president, or it could be anything. Like that kid could literally grow up and be anything.
Right.
Now, statistically, it will show that potentially they'll grow up in a hard neighborhood or a hard life because if a parent doesn't want their kid, they'll probably still love it, but who knows how they'll take care of it.
Absolutely.
Because they may hold stuff against that kid. But
No, I understand.
and I've seen that. Like I've seen that with people. But no, that's a tough one.
But like, what do you think you're supposed to do in a moral dilemma? What are you supposed to do? You don't like either side, and you just think, wow, I don't like this at all. Like, what do you think is the most responsible action to take in a moment like that?
So as long as people are discussing it with as minimal emotion as possible, we've talked about it. Active listening. You need to listen to the people that are talking, both sides, because perspective is good. Doesn't mean that it's going to change you or change your mind, but it might open up your perspective into another manner where you could hear both sides and see where they're coming from. Because most of the time when it's a moral dilemma, people are going to be very strong emotionally towards their beliefs.
Right.
So you got to be gentle. You got to be very gentle with people when you're talking about that kind of stuff. And listen to what they're saying. And if you have time to actually think about it before you have to respond to it, that's why we say be skeptical. Right. Maybe take your time, do some research on both sides. Don't listen to what social media is telling you. Don't listen to if you're a liberal or conservative, like their main agendas.
Right.
Just think it through. If you have time, think it through. If you're right in the moment, I mean, your best bet is just throw it against your morals. You're still being skeptical, right? Throw it against your morals and feel it down in your gut and see what it feels like.
Okay.
Or ask for wisdom. There's always a way to ask for wisdom. I mean, that's your the Father in heaven, or that could be your parents or whoever you look up to. Try to get some wisdom and insight on it. That's the best bet I could tell you on that one. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. Because, I feel like I've been in situations where just, both sides are just not, I don't want to go with either one. You know what I mean? I want to stay, I kind of just want to stay in the middle.
I mean, sometimes it's okay to be Switzerland on that kind of stuff. And it doesn't mean we're like, oh, well, you're not taking a side, so technically you're wrong either way. But that you're right.
Right. You can stay in the middle on some things. That's one thing we're very fortunate to have the ability to do.
Well, I wouldn't say stay in the middle like riding the fence. I mean, in the end, you want to get on one side or the other, but
I don't know.
or stay out of it completely.
Right. That's kind of what I meant by staying in the middle. Just pretty much staying out of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Don't go poking your nose places it shouldn't be.
Yeah, I would definitely say do not ride the middle of the fence. Don't ride the middle of the fence. Yeah, that's a bad place to be because more than likely you're going to get caught up on one side or the other, and you're still going to fall on one side of the fence heavier on one side or the other, and someone's going to get upset at you. So That's tough. It's
I
tough.
mean, nowadays everybody gets a set at everything.
Yeah.
That's why you don't really.
And even like, I know a lot of these conversations could come up with your good friends and you don't want to upset them. But,
Right.
you know, if it's a real relationship, they're going to understand. They're going to respect
Absolutely.
what you think. So, so that's pretty good going into the next session that I had. So transitioning to the next thing, this is like Dragon Ball Z, right? This is like Saiyan going into Super Saiyan.
Right.
So accountability is the next level,
Right.
I think, of becoming a man
For sure.
or a person in general.
For sure.
So taking responsibility even when nobody's watching, that's what accountable is. So that's doing the right thing as if no one's around you, right? So when you think about accountability, like what kind of, just right off the top of your head, like what do you think accountability is? Like your generation.
Accountability. I mean, the schools, that was the same saying taught. Doing the right thing when nobody's watching. I feel like accountability is like legitimately so hard to find nowadays because you're never going to find someone who's just, I mean, accountability most of the time nowadays is just being in a situation that either you were involved in and maybe nobody else is taking the blame for it, or, you know, just even if you aren't in the one who did anything, you need to be accountable. You need to be, I mean, you were involved in it, and overall, if no one's going to take the blame, you at least got to be honest. You at least got to be the best person you can be in that situation. You just got to be like, yeah, you know, I was at least, or I was involved, or I did it, or, you know, stuff like that. Taking accountability for things that, you know, you were involved in or things that you did. And it's just such a hard thing to find nowadays because everybody, they're afraid of
Taking the blame game.
right. They're afraid of taking the consequences of their actions. And that's why it's so hard to find nowadays.
I would say one of the best things you could find as early as possible as a young man or even a young woman that might be listening, true strength is being able to own up to your mistakes. That is being accountable. Like saying, I made a mistake. And then also seeing how it has affected others. That was one of the biggest things that took me forever. Yes, I could see that I made a mistake.
Right.
But I did not factor in how it affected the people around me, especially the people that meant the most to me and loved me the most. And those real relationships.
Right.
So, yeah, nothing hurts more than realizing the problem is you and seeing the heart and the pain in the people around you. It's tough.
It is.
So, I mean, the next step, you know, to knowing you made a mistake and affecting others, apologizing. All right. And one thing people do is, and men are good at this because I think we do it by default.
Right.
Especially when it comes to partners or relationships, the opposite sex. We're like, I'm sorry, but, or I'm sorry, just trying to get the conversation to move on.
Almost like trying to, I mean, in that but moment, it could also be trying to move it on, but I feel like maybe like sometimes we use that but
Yep.
or that into trying to, you know, like justify what we did,
Oh, yes.
you know, like we're
Justification. That's good. Yeah. I wrote down that it tends to lead into excuses, but justification, that is really good. You're trying to justify your action.
Justify things nowadays is like one of the most sickening things because everybody tries to do it. It goes into that accountability because, yeah, they'll be like, I mean, like you said, they'll be like, yeah, I was involved, but, you know, like.
Such and such jumped off the bridge and I followed him.
Right.
Or
Or like I was at a party and I was bored and I didn't, you know, I wanted to have fun.
Well, everyone else was doing it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You know, they try to justify what they did was wrong.
Yep.
They say, they're like, what they did was wrong, but, you know, and it's sickening because they'll do it with anything. Legitimately, nowadays, people will try to justify anything they do.
100%.
It could be something that they're not even technically getting in trouble for. They just feel like they're getting in trouble. They feel like they're being, what's the word? Attacked, you know?
Yeah.
And just like, because they feel like they're being attacked, they don't know how to respond to that maturely. So they just go straight into trying to justify everything, or they just go into, you know, that kind of like like fight or flight response.
It's definitely a lack of accountability when you fall into that butt game. Yeah. And one thing too, and you're going to learn this later when you have a girlfriend, a serious girlfriend, or maybe like when you're married for sure.
Right.
You're going to want to learn when to pick your battles. Like there's hills to die on and there's hills not to die on.
Absolutely.
A lot of times you're going to want to, even though you think you're right, you're going to want to try to de-escalate. And hopefully your partner will do the same thing. Because when emotions get involved and emotions get flared, the conversation will go nowhere.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So if you can step back, identify that this is not going in a good direction, try to apologize, no buts,
Right.
de-escalate the situation and get good communication.
Right.
So this will show you that you really value that person. And it demonstrates you to have the ability to be empathetic towards that person as well. Because they're going to want to be heard. You're going to want to be heard. And I'm not saying you got to say, I'm sorry all the time. Like you got to know when to stand your ground.
Exactly. You know, you can't just, it's understandable that you're empathetic and you don't want to hurt people's feelings, but as not even beyond going on as a man, just as a mature person.
Yeah.
As a mature person, you can stand on hills that you know you need to stand on. You know, like you said, you can find those battles to pick. That's one of the biggest things with accountability, responsibility, and just being mature as a whole. Is knowing you have a hill, and that's like it's like an anthill versus like a
mountain. Yeah.
Exactly. Like, would you rather climb the top of the mountain or would you rather stand on the top of the anthill? You know what I mean? It's that kind of situation.
I mean, ideally, you're going to want to stand on top of the mountain with the other person.
Exactly. You want everybody to bring them up. So, like, would you rather, or more of switch it around? Would you rather push somebody off an anthill or push somebody off a mountain? You know?
Yeah.
Like, you might think it's not so bad because you're on that hill and you're like, it's just me here. You know, that kind of situation. Or, you're not agreeing with me and I feel attacked. Get off my mountain.
Yeah.
Or get off my hill. Would you rather push them off the anthill? Would you rather stand on the minuscule, stand on the important?
Yeah.
Or like,
I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. You're basically, is what you're fighting over something small worth hurting the other person?
exactly.
Or,
That's what I was trying to- yeah.
and I'll say too, is you don't have to apologize to a person that has consistently poor, like enforcing poor behaviors.
Oh, yeah,
like
absolutely.
if someone if you know you're right and the other person is the problem and they're treating you poorly or they're treating you inappropriately and they're just kind of dogging on you,
Get out of there.
that doesn't mean, I mean, if it comes to me, like I'm going to attack. Like
Right.
if I know someone's treating me poorly and they're saying stuff and verbally abusing me,
Right.
I'm not going to say I'm sorry. That's not my fault.
No, I'm not going to say I'm sorry.
But it's hard. It's hard, especially if you're in a relationship where it's kind of known that it's going to happen and it consistently happens. You kind of get used to it. But yeah, I mean, you kind of said it. You got to consider the situation. Is it worth it? And who's it with? Could be a complete stranger, and it's not worth it at all because that
Doesn't
person
matter.
has no skin in the game when it comes to your life.
Right.
Like you don't even have to say anything. Just smile and wave, boys. Smile and wave. Yeah.
For sure.
But it is a good step in the right direction for good communications,
For sure.
especially when it comes to someone that you have a good relationship with that you want to last. So it's something you really have to train towards. And it takes a lot of experience and it takes a lot of mental discipline. Like you got to step back, pull your emotions out of it, see their perspective. Be like, okay, I can see why they're upset at me.
Right.
I'm sorry I upset you.
Right.
I hear you.
Right. It's kind
And
of,
then try to get that effective communication going so you can both get on top of that hill together.
for sure. I mean, I was kind of thinking about it. It's kind of like basketball. You can't just ball hog. You can't just dribble around. In basketball, dribbling, I mean, it looks, you feel cool. You feel like you're doing something, but in all honesty, you're not getting anywhere. In basketball, it's not just about dribbling. It's not about looking fast. It's about getting to the basket or getting a shot.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So if you're just dribbling the ball around and they're still in front of you, they barely even got to move because they know you're not going to go anywhere.
Yeah.
Then nothing's going to happen. But if you try to get around them, you try to get through them, you try to get over them, then you're going to get somewhere. You're going to get a bucket, you know, that kind of idea of you can't just fight it.
Yeah.
You can't just fight.
I mean, even going even further, I mean, if you're a ball hog,
Right.
you got 4 other players on the team.
Right.
Like, you got to pass. Like,
Sometimes you just gotta
your
know.
level of success is going to be way higher if you include the people that are around
Right.
you.
That's like
Yeah.
that's like stepping off the hill, stepping off that hill. You know, passing the ball away. You know, it's you're not getting anywhere. Just get away with it. Get away from it.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah. As soon as someone gets upset, it's way harder to be effective
Absolutely.
in a conversation. And with me and your mom, most of the time, I'm the person I have to settle the dispute like right then. Like, I need to get it out off my chest. I got to clear the air. Now, it might take her a day or two,
Right.
like to settle down and like find everything in her mind and see where it is and the perspective. And then we can come back and talk about it later. But I'm the exact opposite.
Right.
I'm like, I need to talk about this now because my chest is exploding with emotion. And when it gets to that point, it's not a good situation.
Right.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just need to take time. You just need to take time to truly process what you're talking about. You need to truly process what's going on.
Yeah.
You know, because you can't. Whenever you're in that moment, like you said, you're exploding with emotion. Nothing's really going to happen because you're just. None of it is true thought. It's more of just impulse,
Outlet.
impulse.
You got to get an outlet. Yeah. Yeah. And your mom will do the same thing. I tell her sometimes, I'm like, you're a viper in the corner. You're just going to bite me and fill me full of venom sometimes. And it hurts.
Yeah.
And then most of the time she'll come back and say, I'm sorry. I should never have said that.
Right.
Yeah. And I'm the same way. Like, I don't do it as much. I'm more likely to close up.
Right.
I'll close up and I won't talk. But
Yeah, you'll ball up in the corner or something, you know?
yeah, I'll
Like-
just
like
go
the
on.
Viper, you know?
I'll just bury it under the rug, push it deep down and bottle it up.
Right, that's not healthy.
Oh,
you
it's
know?
not healthy at all. That took
No.
me a long time to realize it's not healthy because I would bottle up everything.
Right.
I didn't show emotion at all.
And that's why you would like have that moment to where you would really need to talk about it because you at that point you push so much under the rug
Yeah.
that was kind of your breaking point.
Yeah.
And you just sometimes you just need to be able to have that time to process, you know, pray, talk to God about it, listen to what he needs to tell you. And then go through your own process, think about it maturely, think about it,
Yeah.
you know, use that responsibility, you know, think about it like, you know, just take your time
Yeah. Be accountable.
for sure.
Be accountable even with your emotions. Like one of the things I was thinking about, sometimes if you have a conversation or you have an argument with someone that may be your spouse or whoever, kids or girlfriend, a good outlet too, and I have a lot of extensive experience with this, is have a group of men that you're accountable to. And that could be your best friends or whatever, but they're going to ask you those hard questions.
Right.
Like, they're going to really focus in. They're going to know that you're being vulnerable, but you can trust them and they trust you. So you can really open up and actually feel safe in that environment. And you know that they're not going to hold it against you. Like, that's an outlet I think every man needs. Even, I don't know about women on the same thing, but men for sure.
Having people to hold you accountable is one of the most important things I think everybody should have.
Yeah.
As Christians, I mean, it says we're supposed to have the church. The church is supposed to hold us accountable. It keeps us better. Because it's better to be outside. It's better to be non-biased, or it's better to come from a different opinion, because then you're seeing things beyond just yourself.
Yeah.
You know?
Perspective.
For sure. You need to see other perspectives. You need to hear other perspectives, and you need to be able to understand that. You know what I mean? So I feel like everybody should have somebody. It doesn't even have to be a group. It could just be one person. It could be one person who could just be like, "Hey, that's not cool." You know, you're doing really good. You know, stuff like that. You need to have people to hold you accountable.
Yeah. Yeah. And I know too, like, most of the time when I'm in those kind of scenarios, they will have experience in the same matter. Like, there's nothing out there that you've experienced that you're experiencing right now that someone else hasn't. Everything that has ever happened has happened.
Absolutely.
And 9 times out of 10, it's probably happened to someone really close to you. And you can get help through that. And if you really listen to them, you'll probably get through it easier than you did or they did. So,
Absolutely.
yeah. Responsibility doesn't stop fixing mistakes, but you're still going to make mistakes.
Absolutely.
But you can also, you need to be able to kind of roll on into the next thing. It's about caring for people too. So being accountable, being responsible, a lot of that falls under to other people. Yeah. And I talked about de-escalation.
Right.
So being a man isn't just about making money. You got to show up.
Absolutely.
Right. You got to show up. Whether that's in your household, like the light bulb goes out, you got to be able to change it.
Yeah.
Or if your family's hungry, you got to find food. You got to keep a job. Like when people are emotional and things may be going off the rails, you got to provide some way to calm the environment. That's what I've I've been actually really good at that too. Is I can sit back, I can listen to people arguing, and then I can interject softly, gently, and de-escalate the situation. I've done that at work multiple times.
For sure.
I've had people in conference rooms and they're going at each other, and then let them get it out respectfully, and then I'm at a point I'm like, okay, stop.
Right.
Look, I know you're upset, but let's figure out what's going on here. What is the root cause? And you got to walk it through them. And 9 times out of 10, if you walk it through them and you be gentle with them and you hear both sides and you're respectful to each person and you get them to start being respectful, it'll de-escalate.
Sure. I feel like I've had that ability for a very long time.
Yeah.
The ability to just sit back and be like, hey, just overall being able to de-escalate a situation. I mean, I'm not so great at it in my own situations sometimes, but I'm really good at de-escalating people. I've always felt I'm good at.
It's really hard to do it yourself in
Absolutely.
situations for yourself.
Because in the situation with other people, you're sitting there and you're able to see both sides
Yep.
clearly. But in a situation when it's just yourself, it's your opinion versus another's opinion, and you sometimes you just forget to think, what am I saying? What are they saying?
Yeah.
What's the root? You know what I mean?
Yeah, you got to be patient. You got to stand there. You got to listen. You know, you literally, you have to shut up and you have to listen.
Absolutely.
We talked about, eye contact last time on the episode. It's literally stop processing what's in your brain and listen to what's in front of you so you can actually respond and be effective. So, yeah.
Absolutely.
So what kind of a provider do you think matters most? Like you got the emotional provider, you got the financial advisor or provider, or, just being present in the moment. Which one do you think is the most important?
Being present in the moment. Because, being an emotional financial provider can come with just being present in the moment. You can be present in the moment and have every single ability in the book.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I feel like just overall, you're good at being emotionally present, but like if you're able to just be there and you're kind of like that Swiss Army knife of tools with your presence, that's the most important for sure. If you're able to be relied on and just about anything, or just situations in general, that's the best thing you could possibly offer to the table, in my opinion.
No, I agree. I think being present in someone's time of need, or even when people are having fun, people are joyful, people are happy, even definitely when people are sad, being present for someone is truly taking care of someone. And it's hard to do. Like, it's hard to get out of your own bubble. Like, it's hard to get out of your own bubble, and you have to be present in the moment to be really, truly there for that person.
For sure.
I mean, taking care of someone, yes, financially, if you're responsible for people financially, that's a big deal. That's a big deal. You need to be able to make your money, right?
Absolutely.
And pay the bills. Emotionally, a little bit harder for guys. It's harder for guys to be emotional, but in the moment if you're being present, you should be able to have that level of emotional maturity to be present.
Right.
And it takes listening.
For sure.
It takes true listening. It's not looking at your phone and, throwing on that automated listening and responses, right? You gotta really
AI.
gotta listen. Yeah.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
So I think that definitely it comes with more age and maturing, and the more that you're accountable for people, like definitely family, right?
Hmm.
That one, it's kind of enabled day one. Whether you get married, you have kids, like it's gonna happen.
For sure.
Like whether you're gonna be good at it or not, that's a different question.
Right.
Definitely when you start becoming more of a management or leader or whatever, it's gonna be the same thing there. Like you're gonna be responsible for people. You're gonna be, and it's even like you're gonna be responsible for their careers, which falls into their families, and like it can snowball pretty quickly.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So, kind of going a little further, do you think the old school like man of the house idea is like dead, or is it just different? Maybe redefined. I mean, what do you think that is like in today's society? Like, I know you're still in school and you have a lot of people around you and stuff. Like, what does that man of the house like mean to you?
A man of the house is, it's more than just, it can be more than just like a dad. It can be
Yeah.
more than just this. A man is supposed to be responsible, supposed to be patient. I mean, everything we talk about,
Mm-hmm.
a man is supposed to follow those guidelines. And that's what the man of the house is supposed to be. You know, it could be anybody, any man. It could even be a woman.
Yeah.
You know, it can just be a very, it's more of an idea of just somebody who is the most reliable, accountable, and just overall their presence is just so powerful and helpful.
Who's going to take
That's-
responsibility?
Exactly. That's the kind of the idea of the man of the house. So I guess it's redefined. You know, it can be anybody.
Yeah.
You know, I don't try to say it's just, you know, a man or, you know, whatever. It could be anybody.
Yeah.
You know, it could just be a certain point. You know, that kind of thing. It could
That's
be
true.
it could be anything.
Yeah, no, I agree. I know, like when I've had to go off for business and stuff like that, I tell you, I'm like, Hoyt, you're the man of the house.
Right.
Take care of your mom. Take care of your sister.
Absolutely.
Like it could be situational. I mean, I'm more of a traditional guy. Like I have more traditional mannerisms, I guess you could say. But it's just I know women are good at things. I know men are good at things. But when it comes to like household stuff, I don't think it means a guy is responsible for just these things. Like
Oh, absolutely.
only a guy can do these things. Or, only a woman can cook and clean and all that stuff.
Right.
Like I definitely don't think
I don't try to
that's
put,
how it should be.
right. I don't try to put labels on anybody.
Yeah. I think people should fall into the roles that they feel more comfortable with.
Absolutely. If you know you can play that role and you know that that's what your strong suit is, that's your purpose, that's your responsibility, that's your point. That's your, you know, that's your position, you know.
Yeah.
For sure.
Got another question?
Yeah. Let me check. All right. I was really thinking about it, and I was thinking about like IQ tests.
Yeah.
Do you really think they're that important? Because I was really thinking about it, and I mean, someone can be a genius
Yeah.
and still be the stupidest person.
Oh, 100%.
And that's why I say like IQ tests aren't a thing that should be important. I don't think they're an important thing. I never really have thought. Because like I said, I mean, IQ tests are just off of the amount of knowledge and like kind of like, I mean, some of them are processing. Like
Yeah.
if it's like more of the IQ test of how you process information, I feel like that's very important.
Yeah.
It's important to know if you're very good at processing information or very bad at it. But like with the IQ of more knowledge, I feel like that's useless. You know, knowledge as a whole, depending on the situation. Now, like Jeopardy kind of knowledge, like if you just know stuff, you're useless in my opinion. Because like I don't care who climbed the mountain of Fiji in 2006. You know,
No,
like,
I
but
don't know.
if you're a person who's very wise, you
Yeah.
know, that's important. But that doesn't rely on IQ. I know wise people that maybe have an IQ of like 2. You know what I mean? People can.
Yeah.
I feel like IQs are just. They're not that important anymore. As much as I feel like they used to be a lot of like this higher kind of, you know, if you had a high IQ, you're like, oh my gosh. Well,
So I'll say, I think it's knowledge versus experience. And I think they're both important.
absolutely.
I think you need to be smart, book smart, but also you need to have the experience and you have to have that common sense
Right.
to better deal with situations.
For sure. I mean, like,
Because if not, you're going to be clueless. Like you can have an IQ of like 190, and that's like super uber genius. Like I think the smartest person in the world right now is like 190 something.
it's more than that.
No, I think it's like 190, but it's more based on taking the knowledge that you have and being able to process the experiences that you have in the moment, if that makes sense.
For sure.
Yeah.
I mean, anybody can read a manual, but if you don't know what you're doing,
That's another generational thing right there.
I wanted to look it up. I didn't know. I want to look if I had the highest IQ.
Always on his phone.
I am not always on my phone. You're on your phone more than I am at home.
No,
At home, you are on your phone 24/7.
Yeah. I am on my phone a lot, but
But no, absolutely. I mean, like I was gonna say, anybody can read a manual, but not everybody knows how to know what they're building. You know what I mean? I mean, me personally, like, I'm not a reading person. I'm not not necessarily of like reading books. I'm not a person you can teach by sitting me down and like read this and then do it. I'm
Yeah.
not that kind of person because that's not how you learn things. You know, like I said, anybody can read a manual. I mean, if you have the ability to read, but if you have the ability to read, then you can read anything. But if you don't have the ability to do, you can't do anything. You know what
no,
I
I
mean?
think, and you kind of hit it a little bit. I think it's your ability to process information, your
Right.
ability to learn. Like everyone's going to have different ways that they're going to process and learn things. Like I'm a visual learner.
Yeah, me too.
I can't read a book. Like I can't sit down and read a page. I can read it. I know how to read, but I can tell you after I get done reading that page, I'm not going to be able to tell you anything about it because my mind gets distracted. But you can put an audiobook in my ear, and I can remember chapters and chapters on top of chapters.
Right.
Like it's just how I learn. That's how I process the information going into my brain.
I mean, like if you sat me down and you're just like, yeah, read this math equation, and it explains the whole math equation, and you're just like, yep, Z is 7 or something. You know what I mean? Like that. You show me the equation, or I have to read the equation, and like you set it down in front of me. I'm not gonna be able to do it.
Yeah.
But if the teacher or whoever's teaching the equation sits down and goes through it, explains
by
it,
line.
walks through it,
Yeah.
I could redo the equation immediately, and I would get an A on the test, or I would be able to do the equation.
Yeah.
That kind of situation. And I feel like that is like one of the more important things.
Well, I just think the most important thing is finding your ability to absorb that information and be successful with it.
Right.
Like, not to brag, but in 6th grade, I took an IQ test and I got like a 140. But it's not saying that I'm super smart.
Right.
But
Just
at
you're
that
very good at processing information.
well, at that point, I was very good at school. I could absorb the information in very well. But I will say this: math, science, like vocational stuff,
Right.
I was exceptional. But when it can't come to like reading, grammar, and that stuff, I was terrible. I was like in the special class. I literally got out of my main class and had to go to a different special class for slow learners when it came to like grammar, English, and reading.
I had to do the same thing.
Yeah, that's just how it was. And now people make fun of me still because I'm a terrible speller because I'll process words in my head and I'll switch up letters and I'm just a terrible speller. Thank God for spell check, but even that screws me a lot because I'll mess up the word so much.
Spell like
Apology.
Yeah, apology, and all of a sudden
Do
it's
not
pineapple.
ask me. Don't ask me how to spell apology. I'll be like apple bulgigi or whatever.
pineapple.
That's a true story. By the way. That's a true story. People made fun of me for that one. But no, it's just find your way to learn.
Mm-hmm.
I think learning is something that you need to do every day for the rest of your life.
Absolutely.
You need to learn something new all the time. And that's kind of has been my goal with reading. I'm a terrible reader, but I found another way. and it's audiobooks.
Right.
And we've talked about it. I read a lot of audiobooks, but I have a long drive to work, so
Sure.
I can actually listen to it as I go to work.
Helps you out a lot.
Yeah. So kind of transitioning into the next topic. So I kind of named it the handoff. So a lot of things we talked about so far is kind of individualized and then helping others. But now we're going to talk about the things that are passed down, like by example. So do you think it's better to tell your kids how to be a man or to watch them figure it out?
I mean, so I 100% think that you should watch them figure it out. A lot of things. Like there's some things in life we absolutely have to experience ourselves.
Oh, yeah.
Some things you cannot just drill in a kid's head.
No, you can't. You can't recreate it inside of a household in a safe environment.
Right.
It's something you have to
Sometimes
experience.
you just need to be in that moment, and you need to learn that,
Yeah.
and then after that, talk to them about it.
Yeah.
But some things, yeah, I mean, you can 100% teach them how to be a man. Like, I don't really know a good example, but like, I feel like some things, yes, absolutely, you should teach them just directly. You should just sit them down and
Just
be like,
communicate it.
absolutely.
Yeah.
But some things, I mean, it's like, I feel like it's like 70-30. 70, you should, I don't know, kind of flip flops. It really,
I think it's situational.
It really is. It's just a situational kind of thing. It's just like, overall, you got to think about the situation. You got to think, how do you think they're going to process it as a whole? I mean, they're kids. You got to remember they're a kid. So, maybe it's a smart kid, maybe some things, if it's a smart kid, you're like,
They'll get it the first time.
right.
Next time, but if not, it might take them a few times.
Maybe they're dumb. Maybe they don't know how to do a lot of things and they just need to be taught. And once they're taught, they'll be able to do it. And then some people are just in the middle.
Yeah.
It's just more about the situation overall.
Yeah, I think learning to like internalize responsibility through observing and experiencing others' actions is important, right? So
Absolutely.
I think it's situational, but in my case, I didn't listen to what my family was telling me.
Oh, yeah.
So I had to experience it the hard way. I had to go the hard way around and fall flat on my face quite a few times
Right,
before I figured it out.
That's the kind of situational thing
Yeah.
that goes into that. I mean, maybe the kid's just very bad at listening.
Yeah.
This is just it just depends. It's all situation.
Yeah, it is. It's situational. The only thing I would say to you is in those moments, talking about, mistakes and failures or whatever, or even the good things, it is situational, but try to listen and really hear the things that I'm trying to tell you. Because I've told you in the past, I'm trying to avoid the experiences I've been through, the bad ones.
Right.
So I'm trying to make them so you don't have to go through them.
Yeah, I understand that. For sure. I just got to sit down, like I said, process it, pray, talk to God about it, and then process things. Do my own research depending on what the situation is, whatever it may be, just process it.
Yeah, because I can tell you, me and your mom are not trying to like go against you.
Oh, yeah.
We're always trying to alleviate the most pain possible and literally project you in the fastest way possible as well.
Absolutely. It's all out of love, and I understand that.
Yeah.
It's just,
But I know being a man too, being a man is experience.
Right.
Experiencing things. You're going to want to experience things.
Absolutely.
I totally get that. And I'll never take experiences away from you. Just experiences that I know that could really maybe hinder you in the future. But
absolutely.
So is there a dad behavior that you've noticed in yourself? Let's go like good or bad or both.
Bad. Sometimes I have a really bad problem with listening.
So you think I don't listen very well?
Oh, you mean with you?
Dad behaviors, like
Oh,
things,
you?
Yeah.
I thought you were saying me.
No, I'm saying like
I mean, you have
dad behaviors. So things that I've maybe showed you or I've tried to verbally teach you that you've maybe picked up now, maybe good or bad.
To me,
Mhm.
that you taught me.
But you do it now.
Processing. I feel like a lot of my processing has come from what you've taught me. I mean, not necessarily it's the exact same, but from what you taught me, from what you would tell me, I'm kind of made my own things on some things. Some of them I copied directly after you. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like a lot with my people working skills. I've had a lot of my own like customization on it. You know what I mean? I listen to what you say, and then I kind of go off of it because I feel like the way you work with people is completely personal. It's how you
Oh,
are.
yeah.
But what you say is definitely very helpful and bad in that. And then bad that I picked up, or like you tried to tell me.
Yeah. Or, I mean, I tried to tell you, or maybe you've seen me do it and now you do it, or any of it.
I feel like I get my arguing from you.
No.
For sure. I think we both have a problem of listening sometimes. You know, it's fine because it's just we're both very
Strong-willed.
we're very strong-willed.
Yeah.
You know, which is great in
You're
situations.
very, very strong-willed, maybe even more than me. But
I might just-
again, maybe I'm not self-reflecting enough.
Right.
So,
You know, exactly. Sometimes we just have those moments where we don't self-reflect and we're going off of complete personal
and you want to be
emotional
right.
bias. You want to be right.
You want to be
I
right.
can 100% say I have that problem of those moments where, yeah, I do want to be right. But as of recently, I've been working a lot on it. I've been trying to get back from it. I've been trying to learn. You know, I'm trying to grow as a person. I'm trying to grow as a man of God, you know, and just all sorts of that. So yeah, I feel like that's a good and a bad, you know, people working skills. Just you will tell me things and I will make my own off of it. Which it may not be the exact same, but I still get that the experience you're trying to teach me. But I go off of it and I think about
No,
it.
you gotta be your own person.
Right.
Yeah.
And yeah, for sure. What else?
No, I mean, one right off the bat I know is you've got a very strong work ethic, and I think hopefully that came from me. I don't know. It could have came from yourself,
I think it came from both.
but I mean, you've got the self drive. I mean, you've got the work ethic. You'll work hard. Definitely when it's your job, you're like your moneymaker for sure. Around the house, you're getting better. You're getting better. You definitely know how to argue. I'd say you got that from your mom, not me, but that's just me.
Right, don't make me start arguing. I don't know. This depends. It just depends on the context of the situation.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, I think being a man, it's about control, but it's controlling yourself and then caring about other people.
Exactly.
Because a lot of men out there think, you know, being a man is you're going to control your household. You're going to be that dictator. But no, it's about controlling yourself.
Being a man isn't only about having the ability to be heard. It's about having the ability to hear.
Oh, 100%.
Being the ability to speak, hear, and just overall not and be like being a man nowadays, in my opinion, it's just being able to make things stable. Being able to be that balancing point is what I feel like being a man is.
Yes. You have to be able to make situations stable. And that could be at your house, at your work, in your own personal internal life.
Right.
Yeah, you're 100% right there. That is truly what needs to happen. Don't be the dictator, but yeah, control yourself and make sure you're taking care of people. Make sure you're being accountable. Make sure you're being responsible, and truly being present in the moment to better others.
For sure.
Because if you better others, then it's going to better your life as well.
I agree.
So the philosophy of the week, I kind of came up with this one, is
I like that.
stop trying to prove you're strong and try to keep others from falling. And that's kind of how it fell in what we just talked about.
I like that.
Like, if you're helping others and keeping others from falling, you are strong, right? So don't be asking, what do I want? Start saying, what does others need from me?
Exactly. What can I do to get everybody what they want?
Yeah.
At least in the most equal way as possible. I'm actually reading a book in school right now. It's called I think it's called Before You Do It or something like that. And it's a book basically about that. The first chapter is literally about just being able to be a person who can get everybody what they want and still you be in that good moment too. You know,
I've said that. I've said, don't be looking for the reward in anything, because if you work hard, the rewards will come.
Right.
Like people will notice it, and you can use that in any situation.
Yeah, I mean,
But-
it talks about it in the Bible all the time.
Yeah,
You know,
it's all about doing what's right, helping others, and bringing them up, and you'll see the true reward in the end.
for
So,
sure.
That's all I had. Unless you had any more questions that you wanted to talk about.
No, not really.
Okay.
Yeah, man, it's all good.
No, I think it was a good one.
For sure.
I think it was a good one. It's so crazy how an hour goes by so fast. But
I'm not gonna lie, I'm so tired.
oh, I know.
It's
You
been a
just
little slow for me.
you have basketball tryouts tonight.
I have
I
mine.
definitely thanks for pushing through and getting it done.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
I love doing this. It's important.
Yeah.
You know, gets the word out to people, whoever does listen. It's important for us. You know, this is our time.
It is. It's bringing our relationship stronger.
For sure, I agree. Yeah.
No, I love it.
I love it too.
So that's it for this week. We're two generations. We're both sharing ideas, kind of the same ideas, but we're looking to help others out there, and completely two different perspectives, but it kind of falls into place, lines up with one another. So definitely thank you guys for listening. Thank you for watching. We'd like for you guys to continue to listen and like and subscribe. Share it with a friend. Let us know what you want to talk about. Give us some topics. Throw it in the comments on the shorts or the videos or whatever.
Whatever.
And we will discuss it.
For sure.
So I hope what we've said this week has helped you guys, and maybe carry it throughout the week or in the future. Maybe you guys can use it for some experience that you're going through. So again, thank you everybody out there. We'll see you guys next week.